All right, guys, Chris with One Dot Daily here. Wanted to jump on here and participate in this open tag, my first open tag, my favorite 5. And I will preface this by saying it's kind of my favorite 5 right now. The last 2 are something a little bit special. Actually got me kind of deeper into the knife world a little bit. But I will open up with the first one is this case, copperhead, kind of a pretty bone. You can see some of that bone in there is really, really beautiful. And I have modified this one and done a blade delete on it, which I got rid of the video on this because it's a new channel and I ran into some like copyright weird stuff. So I just kind of like trashed it, and I'm gonna re-edit and re-upload that video sooner than later, hopefully. But name of the channel, One Dot Daily, because this is a 1979 One Dot, and I love this knife. It's a perfect user. It cleaned up really, really nice. It was in bad shape when I got it, kind of rescued it. And, I love working on the knives. So this one is one that I would not let go of because this is pretty much my main carry. I always reach for this thing. It has awesome walk and talk. And man, great snap. And then what I love about it is it's super tough and robust. Has the great snap, sharp as a razor. Got the One Dot, 1979, that's me. And then also, it also just is beautiful. Like I can always take it out and just look at it. I love the look of that bone on there. Way the sun hits it, like I just think a knife is really cool. If it's a tool, you can check it out. It can be your companion. It's always in your pocket. But then also on top of that, you can just kind of take it out and look at it, and it's gorgeous. The next one up is I just made a video about this. This is my first Fremont, and it's super special because I made another video about it, and it's because it was a surprise for my wife. Just a quick recap of the story is, this is a super fancy knife. Obviously, I'd never gotten a drop, any kind of drop, no GEC drops, no Northwoods Knives drops. And a week or two ago, I was on ready, waiting to put this in my cart and check out. And man, I was like refreshing, totally missed it. No luck. I had my wife doing the same thing. Now she alluded that she did not get it, but then a few days went by, and then she came home and surprised me with this for Fremont Friday. And I would just never part with this knife. One, yes, it's a fancy, beautiful knife. I had been looking for it, but now what she did just puts a story on it, And I love this knife so much, but the fact that it's from my wife just makes it that much more special. And it would never leave, probably no matter what. The next one is this TC Barlow 15, and it came originally with the gold sparkle handles on it, which they're kind of cool, the acrylic handles, but I don't know, I just wasn't crazy about them. And I thought, oh man, I would really like to try my hand at switching up those handles. And so what I did here, and this knife is rough. This knife is really rough. It was one of the first rehandles that I did. But what I did was I had rescued a 40 to 64 case Granddaddy Barlow. I had 2. They were both in bad shape, but I took them apart and combined them into one knife. And I also have another video on that, and it covers this knife too, about what I did there. And I had some leftover handles, and so I decided to put the 40 to 64 bone handles on this guy and kind of make a little custom, which I really like it. I had a lot of trouble with it. Had to go in and redo it, and like I did it, I put the handles on, I put it together once, and it didn't have good lockup. I didn't get this pin seated well enough, and it wasn't locking up, so I had to take it apart again. And when I took it apart the second time, I ended up cracking this handle, and it's okay. It's part of the story. This is one of my first. I just really love it. It's very unique, and it's much better than the gold sparkle. I left the pins not completely done. It just kind of, I don't know, it just sort of has a vibe to it, and I really like it. And I do carry this knife quite a bit. Really like this knife. Doesn't have the crazy, it was a 2021, right? Yes. Yeah, 2021. These didn't have the best, like the strongest back spring, but still a very nice knife. Whoa, okay, slice myself there. Just really enjoy this. Wouldn't part with it. Now the last two are kind of a different situation, and so I'll share those with you now. First being this guy, which sort of got me into modding knives, and or just working on it, not necessarily modding them. I don't even give myself that much credit. I more just like to tinker with them, But this guy, what happened was, this is a buck 102. It was given to me by my stepdad when I was 12 years old, and it had my name engraved on it. And I always thought, man, I was a little bit of a, I don't know, I was a little mischievous when I was growing up. Like, I would say that age to about 21. I was a little mischievous. I don't know, had some run-ins with the law, that sort of thing. I always thought, man, my name is on that knife. I better behave no matter what happens with that knife. Anyways, so it sat up for a very long time. And then as I became an adult, kind of later in life, I started using it quite a bit, everything, daily tasks. It was just a really good work knife. It had the black composite handles on it. And it was a really cool knife. Now, in January, we were in the Palisades fire here in Los Angeles, and man, I lost every single thing that I have ever owned. I got out a few knives, and I had to sell them. Had to sell those knives just to for financial reasons. And when I was going back and going through the rubble, literal rubble, dust, just sifting with a rake, and there was zero structure left. There was a few bricks. And I found this knife, and it was in just god-awful shape. Rust remover, all that stuff. Tried to sand stuff down a little bit, and decided I was going to restore this knife, which got me into searching on YouTube, and I started to find people like the Knife Doctor and that sort of thing. And then my whole interest in tinkering with knives. I'd always kind of collected knives, since I was a kid. I've always had a box of pocket knives, and then heavily got into starting wanting to work on them through research to restore this knife. And as you can see, it's not restored yet. It proved, just because of the aluminum pommels and the fact that it was a composite handle, and it's not, and it's a smaller tang like this, the way that it's constructed is posing some problems for this newbie knife modder. But this is going to be a project in the future. But this is like one of the only things that I have left after my house burning down. So this means a lot to me, and I'm going to, you'll see in a future video, I'm going to be finishing this. This is a project that I'll be working on. It's bent too. I mean, the heat from the fire was insane. to the point where it bent this knife. However, it was probably under something, whatever. The heat was super intense. So I don't know what that does to the integrity of the metal. Not important. But I do have to get this straight again and rehandle this knife, and it's going to be a project. Sorry, this is starting to run long now, but that's one I would never get rid of. Name is gone off of it. The next one is a very, very inexpensive, cheap little kind of a trinket knife or something that I got when I was, I would say, 8 to 10 years old. They used to make these little office kits that you could buy in cool 80s stores that came with little things. And these had plastic composite handles on them. And it's a little lock back, and it's not pinned. It has these like riveted pieces, which I can cut a pin and repin something, but I haven't messed with this because I also don't know in a lock back what the spring is going to do. This is a very inexpensive little knife. However, this knife is the only thing that I have that my mother from my mother. I lost every single photograph of anything from our family's history. I didn't have a lot from my mom to begin with, and this wasn't something I really treasured. This was just something of hers that, after she passed away, that I had to remember her by. I had her stapler, and I think I had one other thing. I had her stapler, and that's gone, and then I had this plastic handle knife, which the handles are now gone. But this is something I'd never part with. I'm gonna fix it up in a future video. It actually is a Soligen Germany knife, so it wasn't actually that bad of a little knife when it functioned properly. And I will get this lock back working and restore this knife at a certain point. But I wanted to stick to the 5. It was difficult. There's a ton more really nice knives that I have. I have some older case knives that not a whole bunch. I had to sell off most of my collection, but I've got some pretty cool knives. But these are the 5 that, like, right now. Like, these 4 for sure. This guy could change out. I really like it. It's part of the channel. I have a lot of 1-dots, but this is my most carried knife, and I always gravitate towards it, and I always enjoy carrying it. So that's a keeper for right now. But I just wanted to jump on here and do the tag, the hunting, fishing, praying open tag, because I haven't done it before, and I'm a new channel, 1-dot daily. For case knives that have 1-dot, specifically 1979 is the 1-dot I'm referring to. And I don't know, guys, let me know your thoughts or what you think, and I will be watching you guys and see you guys soon. All right.